Is it gonna work this time? Who knows? We'll see. Jeez, Louisa. Oh, God.
Wait, I'm showing.
I see it's on there now.
Are we finally live?
We're live. Yes.
The amount of technological problems that I'm having today.
I'm telling you, there's ghosts in our interwebs.
Well, this is what I'm telling you. So I got my 4 wisdom teeth taken out. Obviously, it's taken all my wisdom about anything technological. Technology, I don't know anymore.
Hang on.
Doesn't work. It doesn't work in my world anymore. I don't know.
Just a second. I'll be right back.
Okay. And there's Tabitha. So that you guys can probably notice we're down one person. So Alicia had to work over tonight. So she wasn't able to make it tonight. So it's just me and Buffy, and Tabitha is coming in now. And we have got a lot of things to talk about, you guys. A lot of things to talk about. So share this out. Pretty please share this. Let's get more people watching and asking questions, because the more you guys interact, the better it is. What's up, Ron? Hi, Denise. Good to see you guys. Thanks for tuning in. All right, you guys. This is our 3rd Paranormal Unity of the season. It's crazy. So everybody probably saw like my very sentimental post that I posted yesterday, and I meant every single bit of it. This has been crazy. In April, we left a very messed up situation. We left in a hurry, and we were gone. And it took us less than a week to get NightSong resurrected, back up and running, and investigations. We've already knocked down 5 investigations, come up with some really good evidence. We've helped a lot of people out. The team is working very well oiled. Like, we're a machine now. Like, we get in and we set up in less than 20 minutes, and we get all of our baseline readings, and everybody knows what their role is, and it's awesome.
Which means we just jinxed this coming weekend.
Mm-hmm.
No, we did not. No, never. Don't say that. And then, and all the collaborations that we've done, and the friendships that we've made, and connections, and it's been awesome.
And we have a great leader.
We have a great team. No, we've got a great team.
Now you hold it all together. We just run them up.
Hey, no, it takes a village to run this. I'll tell you that. But we have a lot of things to talk about tonight. What we've been up to, investigations, where we're going, what we've got going on. We've got our Harriman thing that we have coming up, which Buffy will talk about here in a minute. We landed a residency at a local historical location that we're going to do an event at. So you'll know about that here. And then we're also going to talk about some investigations that we have coming up and your questions. So we've had some questions come in about how do we protect ourselves? Tabitha, what else come in? Like just stuff like that that you're going to talk about. Since Alicia isn't here, I'm going to go ahead and take over her part. But we had a awesome investigation at Two Rivers Mansion in the 1802 house. What did you guys think about it?
Oh, wow. It was amazing.
That was great. It was unique.
I mean, I guess I could say that I have been to places where like the floors, like one floor feels completely off and different than another floor. And it kind of reminded me of this because the mansion in itself was
happy,
feminine and happy and welcoming. Like I felt like I could fall asleep there. I told you guys that there. It's like, man, I could fall asleep right here. Had no problems at all. Like just wandering off on my own. I wasn't scared at all. 1802 house. It was like a 180. That 1802 house was off the charts. Crazy.
Something was not happy with us in there.
And just walking in, you couldn't breathe. It was just like right when you walked in, it was like walking into a wall.
Yeah, big time. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what did Chanel and the girls do over here? Like, what happened?
This?
Yeah, because Elite Vixens went over there first. And
I didn't stay the whole time. Hey, Philip, I didn't stay the whole time. I had to leave because I was with my mom that, and she was getting sick with pneumonia. So y'all two made it further than I did, but just what I went through, and when it came up on our app and it said like NightSong.
Yeah. And then
it was saying stuff that we had never had come up, or it shouldn't know.
It shouldn't know that because we had asked, can you read our shirts? What's on our shirts? And then when it said NightSong, we were like, oh, shit. And then we were like, well, I mean, can you tell us one of our names? And we didn't introduce ourselves at that point. And so we introduced ourselves and then it said Barbie.
Mm-hmm.
I still have a screenshot of that. I'm like, well, and that's when your mom was like, well, I'm out.
She was like, I don't feel it. I don't feel it. And I was like, okay, I'll walk back with you.
She's like, I'm going back over here where it was a happier place.
Your mom's like, I'm out. Deuces. She's like, yeah, I'm uncomfortable. And I said, yeah, me too. Trust me. And, but yeah, they didn't want us upstairs. We had a pretty awesome Estes method in the 1802 house. I think it was just me and Buffy in there at that point. And then the ball at the end of the night, we always put a ball on the steps.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll stay, hey, mama, and it'll stay there all night. And then.
And just walking past it.
With us walking past it. And we had a video camera on it, all the DVR on it all night. And then as we were packing everything in, I said, okay, one last chance, kick that ball as hard as you can. I'm going to count 3. And on 3, that ball came down.
Hard.
It was nuts. Yeah.
And we saw both of us saw full body apparitions.
We did. I saw it from my peripheral on my left side. And Tabitha seen her full on.
Mm-hmm.
And
at different locations.
And we knew that we had seen somebody, but then we compared notes and then it was the same person that we saw.
Mm-hmm.
And that was pretty awesome. But I'm going to show a video of our findings from the 1802 house. And it's mainly Two Rivers Mansion, but I'm going to go ahead and show everybody that. There's not really much to hear. It's just really just the sound. So I'm going to go ahead and play that now and go into full screen. This is when we first got there and we were doing our baseline readings. This is Tabitha. She ran into somebody, she said. But yeah, so we're getting like random hits with the K2, and this is baseline. This room, something crazy was up with this room.
Mm-hmm. And then it didn't do that like other times. Like you could walk through it with the K2 and you would never have anything. And it was almost like it was following, because then it would just be like I'd run into it like almost in every room. Like, haha, I'm just following, watching what you're doing.
Yeah, it was crazy. So that was Tabitha. I'm going to kind of skip ahead, but this was us during the SLS. And we had a SLS figure of a little kid, and I had my hand under the table. And I felt like the tip of my finger being touched, and it was so cold. And Buffy was getting thermal readings under there. I can't remember what the temperature you were getting.
I don't remember the temperature spread, but it was the movement that we were clocking on the SLS. I was able to track on the thermal right alongside.
That's awesome. So, I mean, we have readings that back up the claim. It was really cold. I'll kind of skip ahead. That was a EVP of a sigh but obviously you can't really hear it very well. This is all up on YouTube, so you can watch all that. We had a lot of cat ball action, as you can kind of see, like right in here, we had a cat ball. Nobody was up here at the time. We all were either downstairs or in an 1802 house.
Isn't that in the same location where we caught that face?
The face is going to be coming up here in just a second. Which, I don't know. This room, something's up in that room. Now this was really cool. This is Chanel with the Elite Vixens, and I'm slowing down the video because there's something that kind of shoots out from her back, as you'll kind of see right in here.
Hey, Miss Terry.
Hi, Terry. And then I show it again. It's kind of slowed down frame by frame. That was wild.
Mm-hmm.
This is where the face comes into play. And you're going to look right in this area, everybody.
And I think you can see it better if we get it on, you know, like if you actually watch it like on the YouTube.
Yeah, watch it on YouTube. Yeah. It's crazy. And it's like it's moving. This is the only time this night that we saw this flash. It wasn't anybody's phone.
The road is so far away, so it's not even like a car.
It wasn't. This is the ball kick. I had asked it, 1, 2, 3, kick, and it came down. Boom. On command. On command. And that ball had been there. So that was really cool. That's what we caught at the Two Rivers Mansion. It was quite awesome. Then we went to Clay County Courthouse. It was hotter than shit outside.
And
Buffy, you weren't there with us.
No,
that
I wasn't
one.
there for that one.
But we went with
loss one.
It was, we all were in a steamy hot sauna. It was awesome. Had the best barbecue food that we could have ever had. Sorry, Larry. But we went with our friends, Larry and Margaret and their team, back from the grave. Terry and Stephen and Becky with Mid-10 joined us out there. It was great company, great investigation, very active, but hot as shit.
Mm-hmm.
It was so hot.
I like to go back when it was cooler, because that was really, I do feel there's like a lot of that barbecue was giraffe meat. Amen. There was a lot of
not good
up in that courtroom. Like you could just feel, and that I don't know if Stephen, like with that scream that happened when Stephen went upstairs. So there was a lot of stuff.
We caught that on live. So
that was, it was a good experience. A hot but good experience.
Yeah, and we were getting the Epoch box was getting like yes and no answers. We did a mock trial. The paranormal tripwire was going off, cat balls. I don't know. And I know that Margaret and Larry spent a great deal of their time downstairs dealing with like a darker entity or something and trying to expel that out of the building. But we spent majority of our time up in that courthouse. It was so hot. Oh my God. And we were supposed to stay the night there. But I was like,
but it was so hot.
It was hot. I'm with you, Tabs. I would like to go back when it's not so hot out. But it was great. Stephen. Yeah.
And then they were shocked that I didn't want to pay for it. I'm like, And then poor Buffy. She's like, at the last investigation, she's like, we can do barbecue. I was like, I ain't going. I refuse to go. I'm not doing
no more barbecue.
No barbecue. If y'all can have it, I'll just pack me a peanut butter jelly sandwich.
Listen, I would not have brought any that had not already been tried and tested over time. No giraffes were injured in the making of said barbecue.
But I mean, It was a great time. Like the company, it was just so hot though. I mean, I think we all wrapped up about midnight, wasn't it? Like that we all just started like,
You were
we're out.
hungry because nothing was open like after that. Like we were going to order a pizza. Like
I
they
was about
shut
to eat
down.
my left arm.
And I love the town, but it's just like little Andy Griffith.
Oh,
You know, it's
yeah.
like it's like Mayberry, like everything rolled up at a certain time, and I'm like, okay.
I just love that
It
it
was a
wasn't
cool
we were
town.
hungry. It's we were hungry.
We were
We're
hungry.
hangry.
That's
We
a
were
special
hungry.
level.
I was getting ugly.
I'm getting hangry. But it was awesome. And like I adore Larry and Margaret. I mean, they're just awesome people. They really are. I love them to pieces. Okay, and then our last investigation, pickle treats and antiques. All right, what do you guys think? Now we're not done over evidence review yet, but I'm going through it.
What? You know my experience.
Yeah, you got your ear blown. You got look. They always like to make out with you. The ghosts like to make out with Tabitha.
I accidentally told James, who lives there, that I loved him when I was leaving. Because I always tell people when I leave them, I love you. And I just was telling them, James, I'm going to be back in a little bit. We're going to have dinner. I'll see you in a bit. I love you. And then I was like, no, I don't. I don't love you.
And then he blew in your ear.
He blew in my ear later on.
She turned around and was like, I don't know why. I just told him I love him.
Right. I was like, I don't know. Was that with you, Buffy? When I said that? I was like, why did I say that? But I tell everybody.
Yes, it worked.
It worked. It worked. But when before it blew in my ear with me and you, Barbie, our meters were going like 170. Like what's the milligauss, or it was
it was 200 plus milligauss.
Went to OL. Like I have never seen that
off the charts. That's actually going in our evidence file. Hey Chanel, I've got that going in our evidence file so far in the evidence file. Well, I have my handheld that I have to go through. I'm still going through Buffy's body cam footage. I'm going through.
That's the only item that seems like it may. Now my thermal got.
I know.
You start looking at side by side fluctuations. Those are pretty good, but
yeah,
thermal was the only thing that kind of got close. It was with noise interference and in everything.
I've got the 2 DVRs. I've already started to go through them, and I showed you guys a little clip. So I found a really cool clip from Pickled Treats, which Shauna and all them with Tanasi Paranormal. They're just so awesome. If you guys want to go and investigate Pickled Treats, just contact Shauna. It was like $150 for
go back.
A 5-hour investigation. It was awesome. And we only took 4 of us there. It was perfect amount of money for 4 people, perfect amount of time. But there was no air. It was hot in the warehouse section, and we had spent a lot of our time in the warehouse section in the back. There's no airflow. There's no fans going. The only airflow is on the other side of the building. Anyway, in the DVR footage that I'm putting as part of our evidence file, there's price tags kind of hanging from different items, and one price tag was just kind of going nuts while the other ones were just sitting there static, like something was like poking at it and playing with it. So we've got that. I looked at the EDI fluctuations. There's about 5 or 6 lines of data so if you're not familiar with the EDI, everybody watching, so it kind of is like an environmental reader. So it has like geophone on it for like seismic activity. It does pressure, humidity, temperature, EMF, all that stuff. So these readings were kind of off the charts. Like the temperature would go down, the EMF would go up, and the pressure, something was just kind of off and weird. So that's going in our evidence file.
And I found the seismic interesting on that too, because it was not touching anything and it was sitting on a concrete floor. It wasn't on a floor that's going to vibrate as you walk by. And I purposely, when we placed it out away where, like, if that chair moved that doll was in or anything, it wouldn't hit it.
Right. So I had pulled out like 5 or 6 lines of data that was really interesting. And then we heard a disembodied whistle. We were doing just a digital recorder session, and I was about to ask another question, and we heard a like audibly. So we caught it on our recorder. So I've got that as part of our evidence file.
And a lot of walking.
A lot of shuffling.
Like you could hear something coming up behind you. So I think that was an awesome place. And I appreciate the price. Like, that is awesome.
Yeah.
That 4 people can go for that. That I appreciate.
Which it's kind of cool because a fellow paranormal investigator owns the shop. So she knows, like, she's like, I'm making it affordable for people to come in and investigate. So yeah, she's with Tenacity Paranormal. Awesome people. We've got to meet Trenda and Randy and Shauna, and we're gonna have to get something together for next year. And so I guess let's talk about what we have coming up.
I flipped screens for my notes and then realized that I didn't take myself off mute. I'm doing great, I promise. Excuse me if you see me suddenly lean in like this to make sure.
Because you don't have your glasses on?
I do not have my vision correction on tonight. So for all of us. So this Saturday upcoming, we have an investigation at the location that we had teased some before. That is our new residency location. Drum roll, please. We will be investigating at the Buchanan Log Home in Donaldson. And we will be streaming some live on Facebook, TikTok, on our platforms. So keep an eye out on Saturday night for all of that. In August, we have Scott County Jail, the Smith County Courthouse, and the Hotel Walton. Smith County Courthouse and Hotel Walton, those are kind of the twofer, correct? They're right there together, correct?
Yeah, and Mid-10, our friends Stephen and Terry and Becky run that whole
Kenton, which means I finally get to meet. I haven't gotten to meet several of our collaborations because most of them seem to happen when I'm away and can't go. So I'm excited to get to finally meet everyone.
Yeah, Kenton, we'll get to get together with them. We'll get to see Stephen and Terry and Becky again.
I get to meet
I get to meet back up with Jeff on the 3rd floor. We're gonna make out a little bit.
Tell me you love him.
Just go tell him you love him. That'll be what does it. September, we have the world famous Thomas House that we are doing. That was a private investigation. And we have an investigation event with the Buchanan Log House on September 30th for National Ghost Hunting Day. Barbie will give more information about that in just a few.
Yes.
And October, we have the Haunts and Legends Expo, which those tickets are now live. You can go to their website at Haunts and Legends Expo or go through their Facebook page also and purchase tickets. We will be we will have a booth there. We will be selling things. We'll be meeting people. Can't wait to get out there and not only meet more people, but I'd like to meet other people that are vending there and other teams that may come in and set up too. Better chances to collaborate. I love it. On Halloween weekend, we have our huge Halloween event at Old Harriman Hospital. Tickets are on sale. They're $125. There are only a few left. You can go to our website to look at purchasing tickets, NightSongParanormal.com. And then in November, we have another private hunt at Octagon Hall.
That'll be our last one for the season.
Yeah, and any of these, whether they are a private event or anything, we will stream on Facebook, TikTok, throughout our platforms, stream live on evenings, so that if you can't be there with us, you can still be there with us, in spirit.
Yeah.
You see what I did there?
So the Vixens will be at the expo. I think Mid-10 is going to be at the expo.
Good, because I haven't gotten to meet them either yet, and I would really love to.
What's going on, Daniel? Daniel is here. He's with Nexstar. So they do a bunch of paranormal events, and they've got, what's your next one coming up, Daniel? Is it Fort Dunfield or? No, it's in Florida,
It's
right?
in Florida, yes.
Yeah, because Mid-10 and Outlaw, I think, are going with them.
Mm-hmm.
So check them out. They do lots of great. What they like to do is they like to basically, they'll set up events in your area and they'll feature a local paranormal team and come out. It's really awesome what they're doing.
Fort Clinch is the next one.
Fort Clinch. Okay. So that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, Philip said he likes Octagon Hall's the best. That's a good one. I haven't been there in years, but it's where I started investigating at, and I love it.
Hey, me too.
Mm-hmm.
Octagon Hall is in my top 5.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. It'll be our second time going back this season. But we're going to take December, January, and February off just because, I mean, you never know what the weather is going to do around here. It's Tennessee. It could be summer one day and it could be Antarctica the next. Who knows?
Oh, let's face it. I mean, it could be December, October.
I know. Who knows?
Middle of July. I wouldn't be surprised if, next week it snows the way our weather is here.
I don't need that for work. Mm-mm.
All right. So let's get into some of these questions that have come in. We've had a lot of questions come in.
Mm-hmm. The first one's like, what do we do for protection before and after an investigation? So I know that we do our prayer to protect us, and it's St. Michael's prayer. Look, I just totally forgot. And we do that before we go in, and then we do our.
I just kind of recite it by heart. You know what I mean? It's just something that we do, and so it's just the St. Michael prayer, and then we just kind of introduce ourselves to the spirits, because you just wouldn't barge into somebody's house and be like, talk to me.
Right. And then we also, like, Barbie carries like holy water with her, and see, that's what Mom said, holy water. And we put that, if you want to, we put it on. If you don't, no problem. When my daughter went with us at the cemetery, we put it on. She goes, what do we put on? And I was like, it's holy water. She says, why does it burn? I was like, because we're witches. I was teasing her, but I was like, but that's something we do, to protect ourselves.
Right.
I'm just going to say, I don't a lot, but I do have my bracelet on. I know you do, Barbie and Alicia. I'm not sure if you do, Buffy, or not. Y'all have enough crystals on you that we're safe. Like, you just radiate energy off for everybody else.
Yeah.
They pull out crystals like no tomorrow. Like, where'd you get those from?
Yeah, I have a couple of bracelets. I've got a couple of protection bracelets, and then I have one that Alicia made for us, which I've got to fix my clasp on. And then I have a couple of necklaces that I kind of interchange based on my mood before we go. It's kind of like where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
And we wear our stank eye bracelets. We wear those stank eye bracelets.
That's my one that I've got to get. I've got to fix my clasp. I was putting it on for Friday night, and it had a moment. So now I get to fix that.
Yeah. So I always wear like 5 different, just like in a little satchel. It's like 5 different protection crystals, and then I also have a blessed rosary. I have a medallion, and then we also do holy water on the back of our necks. I heard, I can't remember the source that I heard it from, but basically it was like either demonologist or somebody who knows all that stuff, that if you were going to get some sort of dark attachment, it would go in through the back of your neck. So just protect that at all costs. Not to say that they can't attach to things, but this is what we do at the end of an investigation. We also do a detachment prayer. And then we also sage the shit out of each other. And then we go home. That's what we do. What does everybody else, what do other teams do? I mean, I'm always, open to hear what everybody else
Carrie,
does.
she just takes whoever she wants to home with her.
Terry
Terry's a
Terry
badass.
takes everything home with her. She'll take a doll.
Right.
Like, I'm your mommy now.
From somebody, I'm like, no, dude, drop that.
I'm your mommy now.
Oh, so
Terry. Yeah. So, what's another question that we had come in?
We had another one that says, "How do you handle dark hauntings and attachments?" So Philip said they do an intention circle at the beginning.
Okay, intention circles are good.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, how do you handle dark hauntings and attachments? Not that. Go ahead.
We don't. No. No. I mean, so I've never had a dark haunting or I mean, we have investigated them, but the only thing we can do is document the activity, give them evidence files, and then get them in contact with people who can come and bless their homes. Because I can tell you one thing, when you go into a place that might have dark or demon type hauntings, you don't want to sage, because although it'll calm things down for a little bit, shit is going to hit the fan. They're going to come back with vengeance, and you want somebody who is specialized in that to come and help them and bless their home and cleanse it and help them in that way.
Well, that's like the guy I'm seeing, Derek. His house, I believe, is the land. When I went in the other day when he wasn't there, and it has said like it wants him to leave. When I went in the other day, I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" By myself, because I was checking on his dog, and it said, "I'm happy," but him and his son had left to go on vacation, so it was a different calming feel of the land and the apartment. It just don't like them, like it just doesn't. So it just wants it to be. I think that wants to have that property. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't want anybody on it. So, and then we've had some incidents there where I've seen shadow people outside and boxes move and that belt move. And
tell them about that video that you shared with us. Can you share it? Do you have it on your computer to share?
Where to share it? I mean, I can send it to you at some point if you want to put it up. That's fine. But it was a belt and it fell off.
Let me see if I can find it.
I can send it to you now if you need me to. And it fell off, and he put it. I said, "Oh, the belt fell. That's really odd." And he put it back up where it was. And so for like an hour and a half, it would sit there, and then it would just slowly get pulled off and and you could see it. Like I've filmed like several times, and you can hear me because I'm panicking because it's the first time I've never been able to see something or feel it. So it was almost how people investigate who can't see spirits or feel spirits.
Right.
Like, I have no control. And he was laughing. He's like, "Are you leaving?" I was like, "I'm leaving." I was like, "If I had my own car, I'd go." And he's like, you're not going to stay? I was like, "If you're dumb enough to stay, you're dumb enough to die." And he's like, "How you going to get out?" I was like, "I'm going to call the cops, and they're going to escort me. After they see this video, they're going to escort me out of this house." Because I didn't even want to go outside at night. I was like, no. But that belt was freaky because we were watching a movie and we both looked over at the same time, and like there's a popcorn box that was sitting on the counter, and the popcorn box just moved. Like it just lifted up on its side. Y'all, that's the main one. That's the main one. So
let me play it for y'all. Let me take off this banner real quick. This is the belt incident that she's talking about. This is live video that she sent us.
Like the belt incident.
And I'm like, you can hear, like, I know you can't there, but you can hear me hollering. Like, I was like, "Oh my God, what do we do? What do we do?" We finally hit it. And you can see the belt buckle just slowly moving. It's behind my bra, y'all. That's embarrassing. But it's just slowly moving. And it just gets pulled a little bit. And then all of a sudden, it just gets yanked off.
You can see it moving.
And it moved. It got pulled off a few times. Or it would move to where it would completely lift off the pillow and stay sideways. And it doesn't go downhill, it goes uphill. Bam.
She said, Derek. Yeah, that's crazy. I'll go to the end again. Here's the end.
But that's like the fourth video. You know what I'm saying? Like it happened over an hour or so. It was just the weirdest thing. It would just get pulled off. We roll it back up. We put it up. I filmed under it so people would see I didn't have anything under it. I was sitting in the middle of the bed and I was like, that's just freaky. Like, and it would just
crazy.
move so slowly. And then a lot of times I have to speed the video up for people to actually see the belt start rising, you know, and it would like one time it was sitting down like this, but the back would just raise up. And I was like, no, no.
Mm-mm.
And I don't even want like our group going to there.
I would though.
Yeah.
But again, the only thing we could do is document.
Mm-hmm.
I want to, I still think that among our team, we just need to do a tour of each other's houses with everything.
Right.
Yeah, between Buffy and Tabitha's house, it's like, it's a heyday.
Well, then my house I live in is wild, you know, so, and Buffy, yours is too.
And it always kicks up, so I've already heard.
When does yours normally kick up, though?
I heard a whisper in here a minute ago. When we're doing this live, every time, this is our third one, and all three times, stuff has been like, the first one that we did, I kept having a shadow pop through the door from the main part of the house. I kept having a shadow. And then something had whispered a little while ago. But it's like every time. And then Friday, things were happening in the house when I was getting ready to go investigate. It was like, you know, I'm like, what, do you want to go with me? You know, like, it's like a kid going, can I go? And yeah, but it's been, it comes and goes in waves. And up until the anniversary of Dad's passing, it had kicked up pretty big. Then it calmed down until last Friday, and it has kicked back up again.
Wow.
And like ours happens all the time. We'll hear people walking like back toward my room, and you can just hear like heavy footsteps every night. It's like, you know, you can just hear the floors moving. Sometimes we'll get like an orb just floating through, and we're seeing it with our eyes and not with anything else. You know, we have a car that drives through my kitchen, and you'll see the car. Yeah, you'll just be sitting there and you'll look over and you'll see. And ours is like it's in the back, and there's a road back there, but nobody uses that road. It's you know, just like an old road that's just there. And you'll see, so no cars go down it. And you'll just see right in the kitchen, you'll see headlights coming and taillights. And you'll just see it go straight by. And I'm like, is that a car? My mom's like, yep, I've been seeing it for years. And I was like, okay. But like I said, we're a story and a half up. So there's no way that we would get a reflection off anything. And there's no cars back there. We get that. We get voices. Like one time I was sitting on the counter. I was sitting on the couch, and my mom said 12:52. And I was like, what are you talking about, Big Ben? And she said 12:52. I was like, what do you mean? She goes, didn't you ask me what time it was? I said, no. She goes, well, I heard a female ask me what time it was. I was like, okay, but it wasn't me. But at the same, like the night before, I heard a female. I was sitting on the couch and I heard a female in my right ear, and it said, what are you doing? And I was like, watching TV. What are you doing? And we haven't ever heard from her since. So it just said those two lines, and that was it. That's what time it is and what we were doing. I'm on nothing good, Miss Deb. She said, what are you on? Like, we have stuff going. Like Elizabeth, she'll walk into a room and she'll be like, there's a man standing there, and she'll just keep going, you know. So we just have all kinds of stuff, or we'll get touched at our house, but it's constant. It's not like it hits a wave with us. It's just
right
24/7.
Gotcha.
And Elizabeth, she does that sleep. What is it called?
Yeah,
where she travels in her sleep, and that's freaky as heck when you think she's in bed with you and she's at her dad's. So it's fun, but you know, it's always fun to see. But
that's crazy.
Yeah. So, and Barb, I hope you get something soon that comes to your house and visit.
No, I'm good.
No, you need to see. She's hearing.
See, Buffy's got something going on.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, you need to do that. So what's your
No, I can't figure out. I think the jukebox is having a moment.
My daughter's fussing on me. Get going, girl. Love you. She's like, don't tell my business. She's watching it. So another question we have is, what's your favorite piece of equipment and why?
We can only pick one.
I think for myself, it's me. I'm the problem.
I'm my favorite.
No, because I think that listening and feeling and getting a sense of everything, and then the rest of the equipment helps out. Like it, so for me, it's what I feel and what I see and what I hear and things like that. But like, I always like to have the K2 or the other Milligal. I have my equipment here because I was looking at it. So I like to have those things with me.
Yeah.
Y'all.
Well, that will help. I think every piece of equipment has its purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we rarely pull out the dowsing rods. Rarely do we ever pull them out. When's the last time y'all saw me with those?
Friday.
No, before then.
No, I don't like at the cemetery.
I'll wait. Yeah. We don't ever use them, right? And so when we go into a place, and I think this is part of being a good investigator, is like, okay, something's not happening. We gotta get another piece of equipment out. You have to find what their niche is. They might like talking through certain things. And I got out the dowsing rods for the first time, and I can't even tell you how long.
Months.
As soon as I did that, James came through. We saw a shadow, and it was on. It was like, boom, it just happened. We had 200 plus milligauss readings. We were all on live. It's going in our evidence file. It was effing crazy for about 5 minutes. And all because I pulled out the dowsing rods.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think every piece of equipment has its purpose. So it's hard to pick my favorite. I mean, I can tell you what I always bring out, but I don't know. I just think it just really depends on the investigation and what it calls for. What do you think about Fate?
I think my most favorite piece of equipment is whatever I'm about to turn on back here.
Here, I got this you could use. I got my
I can't see
there it is.
It's all black. Girl, I can't see it.
I've got all of my stuff is 10 feet away from me right now.
I got my laser grid.
But I just got, like, I keep hearing taps, and then I've gotten two currently happening the second time, cold whooshes hanging around at me. Somebody's
Cold
curious.
whooshes? They're wanting to know what's going on.
Somebody's curious. But in seriousness, when it comes to equipment, it's hard to choose a favorite because
it is
like you said, it's each one has a different purpose, and you have to kind of figure out how they want to communicate. You can put cat balls out and go tap that if you want to, for yes.
Some of them don't like it. Some of them don't like it.
You've got to be kidding me. I'm not a cat. And
right.
it's like the other night with the SB7, when we had your SB7 out. Of course, my 11 was it was giving nothing. But
yeah,
both of you got responses, and I got nothing. I was finally like, okay, is it me? You don't want to deal with me? And if you don't want to, that's fine.
As soon as you put them on Tabitha, it was starting to answer.
Yeah.
It got a little crazy there for a little bit too. We were on live, and it was like these two females were arguing, and then James was our savior that night. I'll tell you that.
Barbie was trying to flare up and be a bouncer between them, and when she couldn't,
I was like, James, get in here. I'm bouncing these chicks out of here.
And then the other one is, what ghost hunting phone apps do you prefer? And I'm the type of person, and I don't know about y'all, but I don't just solely rely on the phone app. If something comes up, great. If it doesn't, that's okay. And I just put it in with everything else. Like that one night that we got NightSong, y'all did. Well, to me, that's pretty much what's on our shirt, NightSong. Well, okay. that's pretty legit. But if we say like, what's on our shirt and it says Batman and none of us have Batman, then we know that, that's not working.
Yeah.
Or it has to, like, if we get something and the EMFs go off and this goes off, it kind of builds up your case.
Right.
That's what I think the apps do. Some of them I don't think work.
I really like Necrophonic. I really do. And Spirit Talker, I mean, we've had it before to where the Spirit Talker and the SB7 answered the same thing at the same time, which validated Spirit Talker for me, I thought. I think sometimes it does random bullshit, but for the most part.
What's the creepy talking when you have Barbie?
Oh, necro
something. It's just the voice itself.
I got it right here.
The voice on that one's just creepy as hell.
It's like, and I'm like, okay, that's creeping me out more than the spirits.
So it's called Necrometer.
Okay.
I won't run it here. I don't ever run any of my stuff in the house, but it's called Necrometer. It's the same Necrophonic people who did the Necrophonic. But I can tell you right now, GhostTube app is trash. If you have it, throw it away. It's trash. Now they do have I'm talking about the SLS portion of it is trash. Your phone cannot pick up spirits. I'm sorry. You can't. Trash it. Do your research. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say about that. Do your research. Don't use SLS GhostTube. Do not do it. If I see that from people, I'm like, it turns me so off like that. And I hate to be that kind of investigator, but it's just because, and some people might think that when they see us doing Spirit Talker, like, don't they know? But that's the thing. Educate tell me, what did you find out about this? Why is it trash? Tell me. Because everything that I've searched, it doesn't listen to your microphone. I'm talking about Spirit Talker. Doesn't do anything with your data. Like, it doesn't use anything like that. But SLS, I don't think if our phones could see ghosts, what are we even doing? Right. Why are we even here? It's not that easy. It's trash.
Right. Trash. Barbie's like, it's trash.
You really feel.
It's trash. The SLS portion is trash. But they do have some really cool like filters that you can use on your phone. Like it's not really infrared, but it kind of puts like a colorization or something, which does make it easier to see shadows and stuff like that. So that portion of GhostTube is pretty cool. SLS trash though.
Philip said Ultimate Ghost Detector has a pretty good EMF on it. I have not used that.
I haven't either. That app before, and honestly, the SLS app, I got it at one point and just played with it because I'll turn it on in the house, but I also will sit things like that. I will turn them on in the house, but the thing is I also sit and have some some strong sage moments before and after, and I sit.
Well, I mean, your house is already active. You know what I mean? So
there was one day that literally everything back here was a figure. Everything, like,
you could
my
put
old my old 1940s record player over there was popping up as a figure. All my bar stools.
That's what I'm saying. That was Elvis coming through your radio.
You put it on a lamp, you know what I mean? And so I just, when I see these investigators out at the cemetery and they got the GhostTube app and they pan it to a tombstone and all of a sudden there's a stick figure there and they're like, do you guys see that? You're at a cemetery. Okay. Yeah, it's haunted, but that's not a ghost. It's just mapping. It's trash. It's trash.
You even
don't
like
use
a standard SLS that's created from an old Connect.
Like a Connect, and even then, I'm still
really. There needs to be other things that correlate because, and we've seen
even
it.
Then,
at Two Rivers, the one that Craig had at Two Rivers, and he even said it. You could tell he's messed with it a lot.
Yeah.
He said, you've got to watch. It'll mistake a chair for a person.
It will.
You've got to pay attention and pay attention to other readings. That's why I like having multiple things running where I can correlate everything.
Because we did have that app, his SLS, then we did have your heat, your thermal. And then we had Barbie's hand underneath there that was freezing cold. So those are 3 things we based that on. It wasn't just like, we were like, I see this little girl, or this little kid. It wasn't just one thing.
You have to
multiple
valid instruments. So, okay. Buchanan. We've ran a little bit over because we were having some technical difficulties. Usually we end at 8:15, so we're about 10 minutes over. But real quick, it is live on the site right now. You can purchase your tickets for National Ghost Hunting Day, September 30th, for Buchanan Log House.
Tickets are awesome price.
Tickets are limited, and they are only $30. Now, every bit of that $30 is going towards the chapter that runs the Buchanan Log House. We aren't making any money from that. So we are going to be setting up a little gift shop inside the Buchanan Log House with some things. And those things will help benefit the team. But I've passed by the Buchanan Log House every day for the last 23 years. I drive by it every single day to go to work and every single day to go home. So about a month and a half ago, ladies, we had a meeting with Miss Linda. She is part of the chapter there for Buchanan Log House. She's part of the board. We had lunch with her, and she was really looking for a ghost hunting team to help restart some of the fundraising ghost hunting events for them. So we just kind of gave her all of our information, along with a lot of our proposals, and they loved what we brought to the table, and here we are. So we are having a residency there. So we'll be running all of their ghost hunting events. So September 30th, Buchanan Log House in Donaldson. It's going to be awesome. $30. 16-year-olds and up can attend. So that'll be awesome. Bring your whole family, as long as they're 16 and older. And it's live on the website. It is limited to, right now we're going to limit it to 14 tickets, I think. So they will go fast. So I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. Do you guys have anything else to add?
Not that I can think of.
No.
Yeah, I think we touched everything.
And I think Denise, it's the one. It's the Elm Hill Pike area. It's on Elm Hill, right? Yeah,
it is on Elm Hill. And so we'll have access to not only the Buchanan Log House, but also the Addison home that's on the property. And then across the street and up just a little bit is the family cemetery. And hopefully we'll have access into the cemetery as well. But it's going to be a great night of investigating, 5 hours from 7 till midnight. And it's going to be great. And it's for a good cause. It's every bit of the $30 that you pay for your ticket is going to go to the chapter for the upkeep, restoration of the Buchanan Log House and the grounds. So it's going to be awesome. We're really honored and humbled that they chose us to do this. So, and I know in the past, the Bench Breaking Broads did this for them. But since Linda was saying that the Bench Breakers had moved out of state, and so, but they still do a lot of stuff in Tennessee. But I was I'm really excited for this opportunity for NightSong. So any questions, you guys can always reach out to us. But yeah, it's on the website. Just go to nightsongparanormal.com. You can get tickets for Harriman there as well. And yeah, we're always here for you guys. If you have any questions, whatever, you can always reach out to us. And thank you for all your support. You're awesome.
Thank you so much.
So we're going to go ahead and we're going to end the broadcast tonight. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. And be safe. Don't bring anything home with you after investigations. And anything else?
That's it.
Don't eat yellow snow.
Yeah.
That's always good advice.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, we will see you guys later. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. We adore you all.
Bye, everybody.
Until next time.